All right. And StreamYard tells me we are broadcasting. I have no way of knowing if this is showing up on YouTube until I guess I see some comments or something. Okay. April's telling me there's a little bit of delay on the YouTube end, which is not that surprising. I'm gonna wait till we get at least a couple people joining. Yeah. Hey, DJ Crumb Ryan, Main Blag, thank you very much for confirming. And let me just see here. And that is how you show the comment on the screen. Sweet. Okay. Duchess, thank you very much. I'm honestly pumped about it myself. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, for a second it looked like the connection was weird. Hey, Michael's in here. Whoa. Sorry, I'm using my laptop for this. I'm in my kitchen right now. So basically, okay, Wi-Fi is being odd. Is excellent timing. So basically, what I'm doing here is since we've all been in shelter in place, and I'm at least kind of keeping up that lifestyle for now, even though Chicago and Mayor Lori Lightfoot, in her infinite wisdom, is saying that we should be beginning to open things back up again now. But I'm kind of still chilling inside, basically, until we see some actual evidence that it's becoming significantly safer. But anyway, I've been cooking more since I've been staying home, just so I don't have the choice necessarily to make between not paying delivery food prices and having a hot meal with some meat in it. Yeah, no, I'm so cooped up in here. I'm about to go full Karen on this shit. But oh yeah, and main blag. If I could be doing this through my desktop PC, which is wired in all proper and everything, I would be doing it that way. But unfortunately, just doing it off my laptop in the kitchen. But yeah, so I've been cooking a bunch since I've been cooped up and everything, but I've been, being a creature of habit, I've mostly just been trying different ways to make General Tso's chicken. I've done a couple of different just kind of ready-made frozen things. I've done P.F. Chang's honey chicken, which is pretty good, but they don't stock it reliably at the Target near me. So I've had to try other methods. Innovation makes a really good. The chicken in theirs is really good. They got this really good tempura chicken, and that's what I'm going to be using tonight. I don't care that much for their sauce though, and I'll get to that in a bit. But I've also revisited the method I got off an old little seasoning packet, which is you just cut up a chicken breast, coat the chunks in flour, and fry those in a pan. You don't get a real good breading on those, but chicken breast and flour you can get pretty much anywhere. and you can say you made it from scratch. And Kaiju World Order is here. What's going on? Yeah, if any of my Twitter mutuals, or if you want to hop on this stream and talk for a bit, you can DM me for the link. I've also, if you're in the Kaiju Crew Discord, I've dropped the link in there. So if you pop on, I might pop you into the stream for a minute. Right now, I got April chilling out in the holding area, I guess, the little lineup there. And I'll, probably bring April on at some point, just to chat. But for right now, basically, first things first. I'm gonna run a poll for what kind of sauce I should use for this now, and this will be on Twitter. I'll tweet it out just after I've gone over the options. Our first option is the Target store brand General Tso's sauce. I use this stuff kind of a lot. It's really good. It's just a good, reliable standby. It's kind of tangy. It's sweet. It's got a little bit of a kick to it. That's pretty good. All right. Well, there's the 1 out of 1,000 of my audience who wants to see that. So, how you doing, Blue? But yeah, so that's option number 1. Option number 2 is this custom sauce I've done, which consists of both of the packets out of the Innovation General Tso's chicken, which that stuff is, oh, hey, we got a couple people just popped in. My issue with that stuff is that it's, for one thing, really, really thick, and mostly consists of kind of savory and spicy flavors, which I don't have an issue with per se. But for General Tso's, you don't want to be leaning exclusively into that. So what I did was I took those and I mixed those packets with a bottle of store-bought sweet and sour sauce to kind of balance it out a bit. And so I haven't tried this yet, but shake it up a little bit. So it's been sitting in the cabinet a minute. But yeah, so that's option number 2, is this little custom job. And option number 3 is this Korean gochujang barbecue sauce, also from Target. I have not tried this stuff yet, but it sounds promising. Gochujang is kind of a chili-based condiment, and this is kind of a barbecue sauce made with that and some garlic. And so I haven't tried this yet, but I'd be interested to. Like, I like me a good bulgogi. Korean food is just excellent. The thing I've missed so much staying inside is the Korean food truck that usually is across the street from where I work. And so I used to go there and get lunch all the time, but I haven't had them now in months. I miss them dearly. And what's going on in the comments here? That is one option. I might try that one of these days. But yeah. Oh yeah. Quality. But yeah, let me see here. So I'm gonna real quick just hop onto Twitter. I have a thread sitting in my drafts with the options and the poll, and I'm gonna tweet that out, and you guys can vote on that, and then I'll check that before I add the sauce. Sending tweets. It's taking its time. Sweet. Okay. There we go. So that should be live. You should be able to vote on that there. So yeah, we got that going. So basically, our situation right now, I've got some rice soaking right here, which I'll start cooking about when I start cooking everything else. It's going to be a hell of a time watching the times on various things, because I'm also going to be cooking some pot stickers with this. I'm doing a full meal. But first I'm gonna cut up this green onion. I don't know. That's the thing. I've been doing this a lot, but I'm still just now trying for the first time very basic cooking things. So yeah. Oh yeah, Michael. That's because it is. I I took the sauce packets and the bottle of the sweet and sour sauce, and I literally just emptied I just emptied them into an empty bottle of the really really cheap brand of soda down at the little 24-hour bodega corner store right near my apartment, and and literally I just mixed them up in there. So looks like a soda bottle with the label removed because it is. Oh, Main Blag's asking what's in the pot stickers. Pork. They're just your basic frozen pot stickers, nothing fancy. And oh, that was not the comment I meant to click. Sorry, I'm a little spaced out trying to do everything at once. The T-shirt. This was a Christmas gift actually from my folks. It says I'll tread wherever I want. Play on the no steppy flag. God. Everybody joking about that comment in there. But yeah, so I'm gonna cut this up, and then I'm gonna bring April on real quick. April, if you can. All right, mic on, camera on. Here we go. What's poppin'?
Hello. Well, I just got done with dinner myself. My dad cooked up some salmon patties. Very good.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. And it's always a treat to watch people cook. Hey, I'm here for it.
Oh, this will be disorganized. This will be a shit show.
Well, hey, when is cooking not? Except if you're a professional. But
true.
Most of us aren't professionals.
True enough. Yeah, so I realize that you can't really see what I'm doing on the stream. The reason for that is that my laptop, which I love most things about, is a very nice, very handsome machine. But the thing is, everybody seems to hate bezels now. They seem to be trying to minimize those on phones and laptops and everything. So what they did to minimize the bezels around the screen on this is they put
what bezeling is.
Bezels are just like the edges of the device around the screen.
Oh,
I believe.
yeah. Yes.
And so they're trying to minimize those, and to do that, they've put the webcam in a key on the keyboard, which has the added bonus of protecting your privacy when that's closed, because if they turn it on, they don't, someone's spying on you, you don't see anything.
So I just discovered that leaving my iPad on actually provides a little extra light.
Hey, yeah, no, that's the thing. The lighting in my Kaiju binge videos is literally just the lights in my room and the white of the Google Doc coming off my monitor illuminating my face.
Yeah, I just remembered I actually can turn on a lamp.
There is also that.
So now my
one of the
whole
finest.
camera view right now is sort of like every modern poster. Slightly blue over here, more orange over here. Every modern poster.
It's not quite the it's almost but not quite the ContraPoints bisexual lighting.
Oh no! No!
I'm sorry. I've compared you to the nostalgia critic of leftism. I apologize.
That is the best description of ContraPoint I've ever heard.
Full disclosure, it's not mine. I saw it on a tweet today. I think Polly retweeted it. But yeah, so that's those chopped up.
Excellent.
So that's that. Let me see what time we got. 15 minutes.
Where did you get the pot stickers? Like what? Like, I think you mentioned something about Target.
Yeah. It's literally just the freezer aisle at Target.
Yeah, because I was about. Aha.
Yep.
Nice.
Nothing fancy. Oh, hold on. I should get some scissors. I forgot I need them to open things.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah.
But
oh, hold on. Oh god. I've also got StreamYard open on my PC, and I'm right in front of my PC right now grabbing these scissors, and I'm hearing the slight echo of my voice through the speakers. It's weird.
It happens. It happens.
Sometimes. All right.
And so, there you are again.
Scissors and all. So once I get actually cooking and everything, I'll be sure to. So the thing about this angle is obviously you can't get a good view right now of very much of what I'm doing.
I presume that means you're going to have to kind of tilt the laptop.
Yeah, and I found the absolute jankiest way to do that.
Oh boy.
So basically I'm going to have to prop up the back of it somehow, and after a little experimentation and things that, either couldn't keep the weight of the laptop from like sliding because the feet on this thing aren't real grippy.
Same.
I found out that if I rest the hinge of the screen on the handle of this pot lid and put it, right here on the counter facing the stove, you get a decent view of it. So that's my solution for that. It's a real
interesting solution.
I'm just spilling all the tea on my high-tech setup here.
Well, don't do that. You'll get damage.
Yep. Oh, here we go.
Very good improv like
Douglas.
That.
Yeah, Juggler 89 says, I think Tommy Wiseau should make a kaiju movie. Does anyone else think so? Hold on. So he announced that movie Big Shark that he was doing with Greg Sestero.
That counts.
Did that ever come out? I'm trying to, because that's the thing. I remember they did Best Friends, which I still need to watch the second half of that.
It was not finished on time.
It was not finished on time. Okay, it hasn't been finished at all.
It was supposed to have its world premiere at Prince Charles Cinema in September of 2019. Also, the main picture for Prince Charles Cinema, which is this repertory cinema of sorts, north of Leicester Square, which is actually a place I once house sat at way long ago. So who knows? Maybe I actually saw this place once.
Wait, hold on, Michael. Wait, what? Did you not know about Big Shark?
Oh yeah, Big Shark. What a mess. Oh no, not the Birdemic guy.
Yeah, no, that's the thing.
That would be disastrous.
The thing with so bad it's good movies is that they have to be sincere, and I will give the Birdemic guy one thing. Birdemic was completely sincere. Birdemic 2 wasn't so much.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's just not quite watchable enough.
Honestly, I imagine that a kaiju film made by the Birdemic guy would probably look something like those those African sci-fi films where they just put like, where they hardly bother in
like
compositing like a xenomorph or a predator or a predalien onto it. Like that one movie, 2016. If you've ever seen the trailers for that.
I haven't. Is that one of the Wakaliwood things, or is that?
I think it might be one of the Wakaliwood things, but it might be a little bit. Where's Wakaliwood again? Is that?
That's in Uganda. That's the guys who made
Uganda.
Who Killed Captain Alex.
Right. I think this is different from Wakaliwood. Hold on. I need to look it up. 2016.
Tommy Wiseau did do a shitty show called The Neighbors, I believe, and Neil Breen would be a hell of a choice as well. I gotta say, I'd love to see him take on a big IP like that. We need more auteurist blockbusters.
Ghana. It's actually from Ghana. This movie.
From Ghana. Okay.
Yes. The poster is a trip and a half in and of itself.
Yeah, I wonder if I wish there was a way to just pop up images on here. That'd be great.
Yeah, let me just DM it to you on Discord. 1 second. Bap and bap. Yeah, just DM'd it to you.
Let me see. Let me pull up Discord.
Look at it.
Oh no!
Even worse.
Oh wow. That's something.
It is so weird. And the movie came out in 2010.
Okay, so 2016 at the time was the future.
Mm-hmm.
I missed that period.
Yeah, I may have been 11 at the time, but hey, it was a simpler time as well.
That's the thing. Back when I was in like high school, I was really into like pop punk and everything, and so of course I performatively hated everything that was like on the radio and all that. Mm-hmm. Like I hear it nowadays, and I'm kind of like, oh yeah, it just it just seems kind of benign now. It just takes me back to like the football games at school. I was in marching band, so went to a few of those. Yeah, no, it's like it just seems. It all gets a little rose tinted, I guess. Anyway.
Yeah, rose tinted nostalgia goggles.
As you do.
Of memory.
Yeah. Let me see. Eventually, I'm gonna have to start cooking here. Yeah. So let me see here. So basically, what I'm gonna have to do, I got to work out the timing on this a little bit, just because. I like to try and have everything ready, not too close to the same time, but I don't want one thing just sitting forever. So let me see here. The pot stickers, you got to cook for 8 minutes, and then you just kind of let them sit until the rest of the water that's still there boils off, and that can take probably the better part of 10 minutes. That's the thing. I never keep that close track. The chicken, I think you cook for about the same. Let me check the box. Never bad to check directions, although you usually have to revise things a little based on my experience. But so cook for about 8 minutes total. I guess just until they're kind of nice and brown.
That sounds about right.
So that's about similar. And then throw the sauce in there. That's another few minutes. I could probably start those around the same time.
Yeah,
although the pot, right. Yeah, start the pot stickers first maybe, and then start the chicken, just so they're a little staggered. Just because the whole adding the sauce bit doesn't usually take as much time as it does for the water to boil off the pot stickers. And then there's the rice, which I'm doing. I've already rinsed it. I've had it soaking there for about an hour and a half now, a little more than that. And that only cooks for about maybe 10 minutes or so after the water starts boiling. I'm trying this other method because that's the thing. Previously, I was used to just using instant rice, and so I got like actual proper rice for this first time, and I just followed the instructions on the bag without rinsing it or anything. It didn't come out well, so I've done a little research since. But that's the thing. Plenty of time for trial and error while we're locked down. I'm gonna drain.
That is true.
I'm gonna drain this water off here as much as I can.
Goodness, how long has it been since lockdown? Like for me, it started around Wednesday, the 11th of March, I think.
Yeah, it was mid-March for me too. A little later than the 11th, but yeah.
And now we're in late June, as a matter of fact. Tomorrow is technically summer solstice.
Yep.
As well as Father's Day.
Yeah. I'm not surprised.
Their fathers, happy Father's Day.
Yeah. I'm not real surprised that people are sick of being cooped up. I am too, but I am, I guess, not that surprised either, but just disappointed that, they're actually opening things up without the without the circumstances kind of justifying it. But yeah, so I've got equal parts.
Good God, Michael, you're right.
What did Michael say? Hold on.
Friday the 13th was the last normal day.
Oh my God.
It's true, though. It's so true. I hate it. I hate it so much.
It hasn't shown up in here. Oh, there it is. Okay. I think there's a slight lag on my end too with the comments showing up. Mm-hmm. Yeah. There we go.
Marbles on my desk.
Yeah. Okay, so John Pannier, who's on my Patreon, thank you very much. But yeah, if you if you can, I know money's tight right now. I really shouldn't be asking people to. And there's more important shit right now going on in my Patreon, but my Patreon does exist.
Just a little shameless plug.
Yeah, just a little. Can have a little shameless plug as a treat. But John asks, congrats on 1,000. What's your plan after you complete the Kaiju binge? I think after that, I'm probably going to do more Rangerverse videos, just because I've been going through those since then. I've gone through a fair few of those. I'm on Go 5 right now, which was the source series for Lightspeed Rescue. And that's the thing. For a while, I was really kind of suffering through Power Rangers, honestly, just because it was like, because Car Ranger was good fun. It was very self-aware kind of parody of a lot of Super Sentai. But then Turbo just tried to play it very straight, and it didn't work very well. But then I got through Mega Ranger, which was fun, and then I got to In Space, and I was like, okay, so this is where it gets good. And then Lost Galaxy was great too. But yeah, so I'm probably going to do some more of those after I finish the binge. Let me take one more question here, if there is. Not a whole lot. Oh my God. So that's I can't quite relate, but I did. That's the thing. You did have your rumblings of things before lockdown began. There was a lot of talk around the office about like what they were going to do. You know what? I'm going to start the rice right now. I feel safe letting that.
I just was not expecting my little joke response to like where does Will work to be right.
Hold on a sec.
But yeah, get the rice.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna start that actually, and then once that's done, I'm gonna probably get a move on with the more complicated stuff. Well, yeah, what I've seen, what this guy says to do is set it on high, and then once it starts bubbling and the rice starts dancing, turn off the heat, cover it up, seal it good, and then let it simmer for 10 minutes on like very low heat. So my previous attempt using the instructions on the bag didn't work very well. So I'm gonna see if this does. And honestly, the rice is the stuff I usually eat last with a succulent Chinese meal. And so if that doesn't turn out great, that's not the end of the world. It's mostly just a medium for leftover sauce.
Indeed.
At least as I usually employ it. But yeah. All right. So what else is going on in the chat? Unfortunate, Will. I'm sorry. Yeah. When I was at work, there were a few people talking, just kind of different perspectives on it. A few people started coming in with masks on even before they had people start working from home. That was interesting because there were all these rumblings and all this ambiguity about like how stuff was going to work if they were going to start having us work from home. I don't know what this is apropos of, but yes, Jetman is. Oh, I see. That's up the chat. That's in response. Jetman is a great show. Always quality. I'm so glad we got an official release for that before the Shout Factory Sentai releases dried up. Let me see. We're starting to get a little action. I don't think it's quite at the point yet, but
Where did my disappear off to? Oh, it's right there.
Oh yeah. Oh god. Yep. And that's the thing is I've heard there's been analysis of the virus that shows that it probably didn't even originate in China. The outbreak was first recognized there, I think, but I don't think it is supposed to have actually originated there. The U.S. apparently, I think, has the most diversity of strains, which is what you usually see, I believe, in the area where something originates. We're getting some good bubbles now. I think that's probably good, but yeah. And then I've also heard that there were what they've now identified, or at least thought to be, cases in France prior to the whole situation in Wuhan. And so, but it's the Chinese virus, guys. That's what matters. That's what suits the political line. Yeah, let me just fold up this cloth here real good. You can't really see what I'm doing, but the guy, his method to get a good seal was to put a cloth between the lid and the pot, and then fold it up over the top just so it doesn't, catch on fire while you got it on a low heat. And so, yeah, that looks good. That looks like it'll stay pretty good, and then we'll let that go about 10 minutes, and then I'll probably start on the rest of things. Let's see. What else is in the chat? Oh God, we're getting room quotes in here.
Oh dear. Not room quotes. Anything but room quotes.
I don't think, well, people in relationships may be different, but I think most people are in a dry spell nowadays. Yep. It never goes away. Some classics they never really go away, do they?
Little cheap and cheap.
Yeah.
Oh damn.
Up for a round of tuxedo football. Let's see. Let me see. We've had a few people. Gummy's devices aren't connected, so Gummy wouldn't be able to talk. And it just disappeared again. Okay, I'm gonna bring Kaiju World Order in here.
Welcome.
What's going on?
Hello?
You're awake.
We can hear you.
No one is more surprised than me at that happening.
Oh, you're finally awake.
Yes. No, please don't. No, Todd Howard, no.
Yeah. Well, we have a question here for April in the
Trying
chat.
to cross the border, right? What? Ooh, chat. What?
Yeah.
Last good movie I saw. Shit, what was the last movie I saw? Oh, God.
It really do be like that sometimes.
Because I'm pretty certain I watched a movie within the past some number of weeks. Shit. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to jump out of my room for a second.
Yeah. Last night I impulsively rewatched Raiders, which was a good time. Haven't seen that in a minute.
I enjoy that film sometimes.
Right. I forgot what it was called. I'm back now. Hello. Thank you. Just had to ask my parents. I just recently watched Hobbs and Shaw. And that was actually pretty fun.
Oh,
that
looked kind of fun, actually.
Yeah, I'm not remotely interested in Fast and Furious, but that looked like a fun time. It
was a fun time.
Silly, fun action schlock.
Idris Elba got to ham it all the fuck up with his, performance,
And the romance was there.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns.
Rock the Dwayne Johnson.
Dwayne the Dwayneson.
Or is it to Rock the John Dwayneson?
Davis Okoye from Rampage.
Oh yeah,
that's what
Rampage was good
primarily
fun.
known for.
Why have I still not seen that movie?
What?
Oh, that's good.
Why indeed?
I keep beating myself up over it.
Why indeed? It's super good and fun.
I heard it's super good.
It's very fun. I enjoyed it a lot.
Where do I even watch it?
I keep thinking a rental place, but those don't really exist anymore outside the one Blockbuster that's left.
Somewhere in Alaska or wherever.
Yeah. Remember Netflix rentals? Remember Netflix DVD rentals?
That is where I've watched my first Godzilla movies.
I saw a whole bunch of movies.
King of the Monsters,
it was great.
Godzilla 1998, GMK. Those were my first 3 Godzilla movies.
Yeah.
Well, the first ones I watched in full, at least. I remember catching a little bit of Godzilla versus Space Godzilla on TV when I was
I think Space Godzilla was my first from the series proper that I watched all the way through. And that was coming off of 98, so I'm like, this is what where was this? Why wasn't I watching this instead?
I feel that.
Yeah, I think that's why I have so much nostalgic attachment to Space Godzilla, is because it's
same.
Because it was there at the beginning. I know it's not good, but I don't care. I like it anyway.
To answer Juggler real quick, I had an embarrassingly intense period of interest in Turkish Star Wars in 6th grade.
Oh, God.
To the point where I think I was Cunate Arkin's character for Halloween.
Oh, that sounds incredible.
God, I wonder if my mom's got a picture somewhere or something.
I gotta see that.
This I gotta see.
You whistled wrong. Instead of women, skeletons
came. I feel like that's in a league with the first that's in a league with the first Marble Hornets comment, if you ask me.
A vampire?
A vampire?
Was that really the first?
That was on entry number 1. A vampire?
Yes.
Yeah, let me see. I think I've seen somewhere someone did a dub of Backstroke.
If that is how that's pronounced. Backstroke is quite fantastic.
Oh my god.
And I'm glad it's of that sort of, of that sort of length and type, I suppose. Length? Exists of the other movies.
It would be interesting. That's the thing. I was looking up something earlier to see if we could verify the sources of some of the terrible Toku HD subtitles for. Michael and I are working on a Wikizilla video about kaiju movies on streaming platforms. Okay, so yeah, Michael.
I'm just sort of.
All right, there we
doodling a sort of internal map of a starship that I was.
Now I can hear
cool.
still and not have weird feedback on my microphone.
Wonderful. Welcome to the club.
So let's use my fragile little earbuds that could break at any time.
Yeah.
Oh,
bless.
Sorry.
Oh no.
Oh god. I guess that's my payback for the time we were streaming Marble Hornets on Discord, and I just turned the gain up on my interface all the way and said some shit to simulate the audio distortion. I did my very own jump scare.
Oh shit! I forgot about.
You get what you get.
Yeah.
Bless you. I think we're gonna actually finish the series tonight after the stream if people are up for it.
Oh, radical! Yeah, you know I am.
Tubular.
It's been a fun trip down memory lane. Yes, tubular and radical and awesome and various other various other Mario Special World level titles.
You're making me think now of. This is the randomest thing to be reminded of, but the executive guy in A Hard Day's Night is just like, they're fab and all the other pimply hyperboles.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Please.
That is
I like that.
That is one of a few movies that I've seen just like a million times and probably have memorized.
That's real good. Yeah, I've still never seen A Hard Day's Night. The only
it's so good.
The only Beatles film I've seen is Help.
Oh, Help is.
It's weird, but I kind of like it.
Yeah, A Hard Day's Night is less racist. That's nice.
Oh, okay, yeah. That sounds like a pretty good selling point, actually.
Yeah.
That's a good selling point for just about anything. It's less racist than this other thing. I'm like, oh, all right.
Yeah, you wouldn't think that would be such a premium feature nowadays, but
yeah, it's
especially nowadays.
Yeah, like, you practically like it. I don't know. I shouldn't pay extra for less racism. That should come standard. It should be a free add-on. It shouldn't be a. Like, I don't need
a free add-on that nobody wants.
DLC.
It's like those free toolbars that Joel always downloads.
That's decency DLC.
God.
You should not have to pay.
Yeah, it's like your fucking Bonzi buddy or whatever.
Yeah. Okay, we're coming up on about 10 minutes here. I'm going to turn off the heat and check on this rice. I think it's been about 10 minutes.
I can't believe you've done this.
Ooh.
Oh, fuck.
It's very nice and steamy.
Excellent.
Looks pretty good. Not a whole bunch of standing water or anything.
Good pan. Not the mama.
Let's see. That seems fairly soft. All right. Well, I'm gonna cover that back up just so that you don't have a whole lot of heat escaping. I'm just gonna let that. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna take the cloth off this so I don't have to keep watching it while I've got the other burners going. I'm just gonna put the lid on. All right. About to, I think, get started on the cooking.
Yeah. That's a good thing when that happens.
There's an interesting comment there. I hadn't really thought of it that way, but you got a point.
Wait, Richard Lester is in the fella that they got to direct the other half of Superman 2 when
Richard
inspired Richard Donner.
Yep, and Richard Lester as in the director of both A Hard Day's Night and Help.
Oh, I didn't know that he directed either of those. This is news to me. I am learning things in real time.
All right. So I've got my handy pan lid sitting under my laptop now, and I just hope that holds. That's a great sentence to say about a expensive piece of electronics.
Absolutely.
Oh my god, I can see stoves.
Even if it doesn't, even if it does slip, it shouldn't fall off the counter though. So that should at least be okay.
Something just fell down behind my computer, and I don't know what it was.
Oh, I hate it when that happens.
Oh, I hope it wasn't anything important.
Here's hoping.
Yeah, I had a scare the other day where my refrigerator doesn't sit completely on all 4 feet, and so I wiggled it, and this bottle of wine fell off the top onto the counter, and it didn't break. I was amazed.
Wow.
Must be a very well built bottle.
Yeah.
Open up my bag of pot stickers.
Nice.
Yeah.
Speaking of food and cooking, it's been a long time since I've made any sort of ramen.
Oh, I've been. I just experimented with adding a fried egg to some shin ramen.
Hey, Gummy.
Oh no! I'm
Hello!
I'm sorry, I just realized you've been sitting there for a while and you actually had your mic and cam
I
on.
was trying to set up my mic and it was being a little stinky poo-poo head.
Oh,
Yeah.
my sincerest.
I would have set up a camera, but I don't have a camera.
My sincerest condiments.
I used to have a camera, but it's not in this house. I can't find it. It was the old Lego Studios camera.
Ooh.
That's
I remember
that's going back a ways.
What was it? They had some kind of Lego robotics kit, I think, at some point.
Mindstorms. That's
Mindstorms. Yeah. My cousin had a couple sets of that.
Yeah, my folks got that. I don't think we ever got it working, which is too bad.
Yeah.
I remember the before time with Mindstorms when it wasn't all white and gray and orange.
Yeah, that's
when it was still Legos.
So now you too can set up McClunky Culkin death traps in your house. Little Lego bots.
But you remember when Mindstorms sets used to be like they actually looked like big fucking Lego bricks and not like these smooth plastic whatevers.
Yeah, when they didn't look like fucking Eve from WALL-E.
Well, we had that OG kit with all the bright colors on it.
Yeah, like with the yellow and blue, the core block.
That's the correct. That is the correct Lego aesthetic, not this.
God, fuck that takes
not this fucking Apple Store crap they got.
This shit takes me way back right now because now I'm having memories of like the old Lego website where they used to have all those games on the site, and also fucking Hot Wheels website and whatever. I remember there. But speaking of like the fucking Lego games and stuff that they had online, did anyone else ever play this sort of flash game, whatever, where you had to drive around like a Lego racing car around like some sort of department store with all these empty shelves, and you had to get checkpoints or whatever?
I
don't know about that.
I was super into Legos when I was a kid, but I don't think I ever did that.
Game. Fun.
But what did I do? I did that.
Lego RC Racer.
Nice. I did do. I forget what it was called, but they had some kind of kit making software that you could make your own kits and design them and then order them.
Ah, fuck.
I did at least one of those.
Huh.
That was cool. That was damn cool.
I think I
keep forgetting that
but I've
Flash is no longer supported.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. I'm okay. So we're getting into cursed content territory here, but I've been over the last little while kicking around because of some conversations I had with a friend of mine. The idea of doing a video on the various parallels on both a textual and kind of meta level between Evangelion and Homestuck.
Go on.
The comments are going to be good. I'm not paying close attention to them right now because I'm very far away. But
oh boy.
But yeah, I was really into Homestuck when I was in high school, and then I think I stopped reading during one of those long pauses while Hussey was working on that game that the developers absconded with the money for.
I'm pretty certain I did play Junkbot back in the day. Because that name rings a strong bell.
Junkbot, yeah.
Yeah.
I used to play the crap out of that.
Yeah, the reason I mentioned that is because I started rereading it in preparation for the last Rebuild film. And yeah, Flash is going to be disabled soon, so I wonder how...
Oh, it's already disabled.
Really?
It's disabled for the longest time.
100% going to be unsupported after December 31st of this year.
That's what Chrome is telling me. It'll still let me use it. But...
Thanks a lot, Silicon Valley, for killing Flash and replacing it with fucking nothing.
That's the thing.
Good job, idiots.
I don't think they're...
Why did they kill Flash?
Thanks for making me waste 3 years of my life learning how to code in this stuff, and now we're getting rid of it now. Fuck you. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for making sure my degree's not worth the paper it's printed on no more.
I don't think... Do people use Flash that much anymore? I know there's now
that it's not supported.
Well, I mean, now that it's dead, it's fucking dead. So of course not.
It's murdered it in its sleep.
That's the thing. Flash did not die. It was murdered.
True. I just know that there's huge swaths of internet history that depend on Flash. You got your Homestar Runner, you got
all the
old Flash
loads of old browser games,
fucking Fancy Pants Adventures. I used to be
hell yeah,
shit.
Peasants.
I was on the old forums for fucking Born Games way back in the day.
Yeah. Y'all remember Super Freakin' Parody Rangers?
I don't think I remember that.
That was a Newgrounds series. Flash animations.
Yeah, there's so much Newgrounds stuff that's gonna get completely wiped.
It's a damn shame.
We're gonna lose so many terrible point-and-click horror games.
Oh yeah.
And point-and-click porn games. Let's be real.
Yeah. No more meat and fuck kingdom for you.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, this is going places I wasn't expecting it to. On my Good Christian YouTube channel.
I was way too.
Don't Google that, kids.
Don't Google it.
Please don't. If it sounds enticing, don't. It's terrible.
I was ridiculously way too young to be going on Newgrounds. I was like a little fucking child. And I was going on Newgrounds, and it probably shaped me, who I am today.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
but there's still, on a serious note, you lose out on, Animutation, and, Zao number 3.
All of the cool old games. You even lose out on those... Okay, so a long time ago, I used to fucking go on the Wonka website,
Oh, hell yeah.
And they used to have all these old games on it. I would play the one where the Sweethearts 3D one for hours. I'm not even kidding. I remember there were levels where you were a little gecko just sort of crawling around this simple thing. And then there was one where you were on a ball and you were under the water. It was a bubble, actually, not a ball. Under the water. and there were these spiky little things that kept rolling around after you, and there was also this Wonka hat which kept flying around.
Did it yell at you for stealing fizzy lifting drinks?
It did not.
You just unlocked like several different memories bringing up the Wonka site. My God.
Is this Among the Sleep?
I also remember a game where I'm pretty certain it was for Laffy Taffy, where it was sort of like a dungeon crawler sort of thing. And it
what?
Or something of that sort. Like you were trying, you had to sort of find your way through a maze, which was like some sort of Mayan dungeon or whatever. And there was some Laffy Taffy monster which would always sort of get you, and that scared the shit out of me when I was little.
Oh
God. I remember, Wonka candies were like the absolute apex when I was a kid.
Nerd.
Laffy
Taffy.
I think they still exist. They just
they do still exist.
They don't use the Wonka name.
No, I
think they do, but
Nerds is still fucking cream of the crop. I love those.
Mm-hmm.
Nerds World were where it's at.
Yes.
I still remember when they still used to sell Wonka bars.
Oh, God,
actual Wonka bars.
Yes.
They were like these graham crackers coated in chocolate, and they were the they were the bee's knees.
The cat's pajamas.
As they say.
Some other euphemism
The
that people haven't used since like 1952.
I've been meaning to rewatch the movie ever since Red Letter Media did a review about it.
Yeah.
I've been meaning to rewatch that.
Don't come back.
Great gloves.
What a great! Oh my God, I love that damn film a lot.
Yeah,
I go back to it every once in a while.
It's a shame that Roald Dahl hated it, but it's also a shame that Roald Dahl was racist.
Yeah, like it's a shame that Roald Dahl.
Have you ever heard about like the first pressings of the book, or the first printings rather? They weren't even Oompa Loompas in the first pressings. They were literally just African pygmies.
Oh.
Bruh!
Were they the black-faced dwarf army I saw in that Tarzan movie the other night?
The fucking what?
Excuse me?
Oh, you weren't here for this.
So
on Turner the other night, Tarzan the Ape Man from 1932, starring Johnny Weissmuller, was on, and that's the big final boss of the movie. It was supposed to be this pygmy tribe that worships this gorilla god who I think was supposed to be Kerchak, but they didn't use the name Kerchak, and it sure didn't look like any gorilla I've ever seen. Crash Corrigan in the ape suit, by the way, from Undersea Kingdom. But like this tribe, like they couldn't get anybody, I guess, or they chose not to get anybody who was the correct whatever, so they just grabbed a bunch of little people and put them in full body blackface and were like, here, throw spears at Johnny Weissmuller. And it was it was oof.
So I'm guessing instead of Phil Collins, they had Al Jolson.
Well, I don't remember. They had a snippet from the Romeo and Juliet ballet at the end.
Huh.
Like that was the extent of the score. And then the rest of the time it was just animals yelling. It was Spider-Man and Venom maximum cringe.
Instead of maximum carnage.
Oh, Lord.
God. You know, speaking of old films, and on a perhaps more positive note, I once came up with an idea for sort of like a basic premise idea for a remake of The Valley of Gwanji. I think I may have posted this on
you were talking about this, where it's set on the backdrop of the Bone Wars.
Yes, I perhaps read the little thing that I wrote out?
Do it.
Oh, yeah, you have my full interest.
Yeah,
awesome.
I'm down to hear it again. I love this.
All right. America, 1880. 15 years since the end of the Civil War and 3 years since the start of the Bone Wars. Othniel Charles Marsh and Edward Drinker Cope are still at it, tearing up the Midwest in their game of one-upsmanship in the fossil business. You may have heard of them as being the ones who plundered the Midwest for fossils, constantly saying that I have the bigger fossil. No, I have the bigger fossil. So we came up with Amphicoelus, now known as Maraponosaurus, which is supposedly Kaiju-sized, essentially.
Whoa.
But word gets around to them both that there's a spot out in Colorado where people have been finding strange beasts from ages ago. Curiosity piqued, these two bone warriors pack their bags and head to the rumored coordinates, running into each other as they arrive. As the two teams are setting up camp, the two start having a bit of a spat as to who has the right claim to the fossil finds there. And so they argue and argue, walking all the way into a time rift, into a significantly lusher landscape. When they nearly fall off a rocky outcropping, they finally look up and mouths agape and eyes wide, they behold the Forbidden Valley, a paleontologic dream come true. They walked right into the Jurassic. Living dinosaurs, prehistoric animals of other sorts abound. Think like the moving in herds scene from Jurassic Park, but bigger. The whole of a prehistoric ecosystem everywhere. They have hit the jackpot together. They found paradise. The rest of the film is essentially Marsh and Cope exploring the Forbidden Valley, discovering this massive Allosaurus, which of course is Guanji, and then trying to figure out who has the rights to him, and basically trying to figure out how to get him out. And they form an alliance for the sake of extracting Guanji.
They found something that's worth more than all the motion pictures in the world. We're millionaires, boys. Exactly. I'll share it with all of you. Who was it we agreed that was going to play Cope and Marsh?
I think it was what's the guy who played Commissioner Gordon in
Gary Oldman.
Yeah.
Ooh.
As Cope. I don't remember who we chose for Marsh. I think it was Nick Offerman as Marsh.
Yeah, someone suggested Nick Offerman.
Gary Oldman and Nick Offerman would be a hell of a pairing.
Marsh and Cope.
We're going in for the Allosaurus. Call everyone. Who? Everyone!
So basically, they sort of end up competing to see who could bring back the most impressive specimen, with Guanji being the main prize. And they both one up and sabotage the other's effort in this sort of probably slapstickish way. Until the theropod itself, the great theropod Guanji, proves impossible for them to wrangle on their own, so they form an alliance for the sake of extracting Guanji from the valley. But past that point, they're foes again.
Of course.
And fun fact, a lot of the animals they'd probably find in the Morrison Formation in the Forbidden Valley, they would have yet to discover by now. So this is only 3 years into the Bone Wars. Like they wouldn't Marsh wouldn't have discovered Ceratosaurus for another 4 years.
Wow. Okay, so hold up, real quick. My chicken's starting to look nice.
Ceratosaurus wasn't even discovered until the 1900s, well after the Bone Wars were over.
Nice. My chicken's starting to look nice and brown, so
Excellent.
I'm going to check my... All right. So the people have spoken, and they have requested the custom sauce.
Oh, shit.
Nice.
So I'm about to find out. Oh, I wish.
Never... Well, that's what fell over. It was my empty Crystal Pepsi bottle.
Well, there you go. Yeah, no, I think...
never seen a taste like this.
Oh, yeah. No, I've been a nut for Crystal Pepsi every time they brought it back, but I don't think they've done it in a couple of years.
Yeah, I wish it would come back again. It was honestly pretty tasty.
It was. It was like Pepsi, but it didn't really stick to your teeth quite the way Pepsi did. There's no...
I've never really been one for. I've never really been one for soda. I'll be honest.
No, that's understandable.
I like it because it
better
helps
for
keep
you.
me awake on long days.
I had a fun little idea.
Powers my brain.
I had a fun little idea for the film because the Barnum and Bailey Circus was actually founded in 1880.
Oh
So,
shit!
There
we go.
We can just bring the circus to them. Boom!
There's a new show in town.
Eighth wonder of the world, Gorgo, only here at Dawkins Circus.
As for how the movie ends, I do want there to be like sort of fire and the buildings are collapsing, but I want to leave it up to interpretation as to whether Guanji survived, sort of. I don't fucking want Guanji to die. Here's my idea. We're sort of left with the idea that maybe Guanji died, but then someone finds tracks running back to the time portal.
Oh shit!
Guanji made it back alive, baby.
It's time for a sequel.
Yeah, sequel time.
I have not played Pepsi Man. I have watched it played by other people.
Oh my god!
Manifest to destiny.
I do love Pepsi Man a bunch. I need more Pepsi Man merch in my life. Yes.
I think it's wild that James got the guy who played the guy.
That guy. Oh fuck! I forgot about that. Pepsi for pizza.
Pepsi for TV game.
TV game. That's the word.
Pepsi
for TV game.
I love that shit.
But imagine to that though.
Damn astounding. That's good. Cope gets him in the American version, Marsh in the Japanese version. That's pretty good.
Well, I would put Marsh for the American version, Cope for the. Well, I think Marsh for either version because Cope was a fucking huge racist.
Guanji to Guanji.
And also fucking Cope technically lost the Bone Wars.
Too Guanji, too furious.
Anyways. I sort of had this fun idea for the Guanji sequel where you know how America is when they discover new land? You know how we are.
Yeah.
We go charging right in and try to take everything.
Go right into it.
Exactly. We Gordon it. And I feel like that could be a fun little idea.
Oh yeah, and then Guanji has to fight everyone.
Fucking trounced by some dinosaurs.
Sounds good. I'm okay with
that.
I
love that idea.
Just a bunch of.
Yes, it would end with the end. It would.
And yet another one.
Or.
Dun, 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 dun. That music cue is a bop. Riichiro Manabe is underrated as a composer.
Yeah, I'm not super fond of his style, but it just works for Hedera.
Oh yeah, it works for Megalon.
It does. It does.
He got hired for exactly the right films for his style.
No,
I'm still tempted.
This entire idea while listening to the Valley of Guanji soundtrack.
Yeah,
I'm still it lends itself perfectly.
Did that get a CD release from the Monstrous Movie Music Cats?
I think maybe. I
might have to look into that because I know for sure I want to get the one that has Gorgo on it.
Oh yeah, God, the Gorgo soundtrack is amazing.
It's really good. I like that score a ton. It's very, very good. Gorgo is a good boy, and I like him a lot. Sir, I never did get the fucking. I know IDW put together this big collection of the Gorgo comic. That was their artist spotlight. Steve Ditko's Gorgo. Where can I find this? Monopoly covers in Godzilla vs. Kong. What?
Yes.
What? Oh my.
Oh.
He never did any Kong stuff. You can't fool me.
That would be funny.
Oh no, like that's the new Godzilla theme. Is his drunk theme from Hedorah.
It's the fan service nobody asked for, nobody
Yes.
wanted.
Where it just sounds like Happy Hour just ended on Monster Island, and he's staggering home after a bender. Like, hey, Anguillus.
What if the mechanized giant from what if the mechanized giant from the end credit sequence of King of the Monsters isn't what we all think it is? What if it's actually Jet Jaguar?
I fucking wish it was Jet Jaguar. That would make me so happy. Like, I mean, we all know it's gonna be Mechagodzilla because I know spoilers
marketing.
For something that was leaked a million years ago and we kind of knew about anyway.
Yeah.
Wait,
I mean,
tell
it's
me
also,
that
frankly, the only logical option considering what Warner Brothers has the rights to.
Yeah, like he's Big Five. It was a foregone conclusion. It wasn't a question of if he was going to show up. It was a question of when, and the when is now, I guess, or well, next year, whatever.
Well, that's the thing. Back in 2014, I would have said he's too sci-fi, but I think.
Yeah,
I
like
think
after
King of the
Monsters, like nah, after King of the Monsters and Skull Island, like we can go whole hog with the wacky shit. It's fine.
We got a Hollow Earth. We got crazy underground bases.
We got space shit.
Now you've mentioned 2014, and I've got a perfect segue into something I've been very on talking about.
First,
all right.
What's our over/under on there being spacemen?
Don't know.
All right.
Don't honestly know.
All right. Anyway,
I
continue.
don't know if they quite go there, even though Ghidorah is an alien.
That is true. Hair and mouth. Let me tuck it back. There we go. But I have been very keen on talking about the Mutos as of late.
They are very good, and I like them a lot. They are good, friendly lads.
But anyways,
a lad and a lady, and another lady, who's pointy.
Anyways, in regards to the Mutos, I was having a conversation with one of my friends who goes by Laser Whale on Tumblr and Conradosaurus, that's with a K, on Twitter. Y'all should really give him a follow. He's really not active on Twitter that much, but
those are some fucking fantastic usernames.
Oh yeah. Shit!
Let me just type that in.
Forgot to add my green onions.
Conradosaurus on Twitter.
You know, people call them green onions, but they're really scallions.
Give him a
How did you know about that? Shot in the dark.
Listen, I feel like if the name Green Onions is good enough for Booker T and the MGs, it's good enough for me.
True that. Anyways, I was having a good conversation with Ooh, are you okay there?
Uh-oh.
I forgot there was water in that bowl. It's a good thing that it's a good thing it was on the other side of the counter from my laptop. That's
for sure.
Never have flunked out of cooking school. Oh, fuck me.
Fuck.
But anyways, I was having a very good conversation. Oh yes, Michael. He does. He doesn't use it much, but he does.
Oh, is this is how I'm just trying to see if I remember, because I think we talked about this before.
I'm pretty certain. Yes.
Yeah.
Muto thing.
Yeah.
How the Mutos are actually lungfish.
That's
hot, but scientifically
real Hiromi Ogashiro moment.
I know.
That's wild. Like
I know.
I don't remember the reasoning now, but I don't know enough about zoology to question it.
Well, I actually taught the entire Wikizilla server this whole thing just a few days ago. So let me find me scrolling up to that. Hold on. Okay.
Don't shake me, I'm baby. I might die.
Everyone loves to characterize the Mutos as, well, let's say, insects. Because, hey, they've got multiple legs. But they're clearly not insects because they have a vertebra, they have a backbone. And also no clearly defined subsections like the head, thorax, abdomen, like you see in an insect.
Right.
Some people have described them as mammals. Some people even on the production teams for these Godzilla films.
Describe them as mammals.
Yes. Guillaume Rocheron, I believe the visual effects supervisor for Godzilla 2014, described them as mammals simply because they have flesh and blood.
That's not how that works.
That is not the criteria for mammals.
That's definitely not how that
Mammals
works.
grow babies in their belly, have hair, and produce milk.
Yeah, like monotreme I could get.
Yeah.
They're sort of like eggs. The big
They
big
do
ones
lay
that do
eggs. However, monotremes and all mammals are categorized as amniotes.
Right.
But Mutos are very clearly anamniotic. They do not have amnions. They do not have even hard shells over their eggs. It's more like tadpoles.
Yeah, they're
all right.
like frog.
You know, it's like frog eggs. They're squishy eggs.
Another quick decision to make. Godzilla 1985 or Godzilla versus Megalon opening scene.
Not sure.
I gotta go with that 85.
85, yeah.
That's
my
choice.
85.
I haven't actually yet seen Megalon. It's one of the few show movies I haven't seen.
You haven't seen Megalon? Megalon is a banger.
Oh, we gotta fix that sometime.
Oh.
Definitely. That's
Dr. Pepper.
Yeah. If it were cherry Dr. Pepper, it would be even gooder.
Better.
Because cherry
Dr. Pepper is good.
It is divine. It is the nectar of the gods.
Let's see. That's not a glass's worth left. I'm gonna just kill that.
Chug.
Oh my god.
Anyways, we have gotten them. We have excluded them from mammals and reptiles because they are anamniotic. And we can also exclude them from placoderms. You know, those armored fish like Dunkleosteus.
Yeah,
because fun fact, their fins weren't exactly fins like the way you think of like lobe-finned or ray-finned fish. They were just paddles. They were just solid bone paddles. That's it. So those don't exactly have the capability of, you know, evolving into digited limbs like what we see in, you know. Yeah.
All right. I'm going to bring you guys out to my living room real quick.
Excellent.
I need
Oh god. Oh shit.
I need two hands to carry my meal out to a table, so
I don't remember this episode of Marble Hornets.
I don't remember this hallway sequence in Mystery Science Theater.
Follow the light.
Yeah.
The light is your guide.
Okay, I'll be right back.
I remember that quote from in the Muto Kaiju profile because of the Muto Kaiju profile. By the way, but anyways, I actually don't know if Kyodai can hear me still.
Well,
Well, now that we're all alone.
Oh yeah, it's after hours.
Oh god.
Welcome to Kaiju Crew After Dark. It's like TNA Up All Night. They're gonna show like Bikini Car Wash Company or some shit.
I'm gonna be really revealing. I'm gonna show my ankle. Gasp.
Oh lord, so scandalous. Just like
I'll say something about cats.
No.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah, sure. That's totally what it was.
Here, you know what? Let me turn something on my TV so you can get me lit a little better.
Lag drop shot. Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. What was that?
Lag spared us from a crotch shot.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's the lag spared us the buffalo shot.
The buffalo shot.
sorry, my son.
Sorry, my son.
Oh boy.
Oh. But anyway,
Sorry.
Oh my god.
so
I don't know why that's so funny to me.
How you folks enjoying the show tonight?
It hit just right. Like sometimes it just hits just right, and I can't help but just lose it. No.
You released
Really does.
cut.
anyways,
No.
Muto research stuff.
God.
Please don't cut buttholes. It's painful.
Let's talk about something else.
May
Just ask X-Pac. You don't want to fucking do that.
Ugh.
May I continue?
I,
Yeah.
No,
I
go
I
ahead,
regret
yes.
bringing up cats
Okay.
now.
So, anyways, they definitely fall into the group Ripidista, where the palatal-quadrate bone, which is, when you see like a fish, you know how their mouths go whoop.
Yeah. They're able to
Their
open them
top
like
sort of
that.
extends down as well.
Yeah.
It's sort of a thing in sharks too, kind of like
Yeah.
goblin sharks have that adaptation as well. But like the palatal-quadrate bone is that
Oh my
top
god.
part, and the thing which distinguishes fish from us, like normal, like rayfin fish from like lobefin fish and their descendants, like we, is that bone is fused to the cranium. It's why we don't have a droopy mouth like fish.
Yeah, or like that guy that Josh Gad played in that terrible movie we watched.
I don't know what movie that is.
You feel
I don't think I want to know.
Feel glad that you do not know. It was not a fun time.
Okay.
Well, it was a fun time, but for all the wrong reasons.
I just zoned out, and I'm glad I don't know what just happened. I'm gonna be honest.
I was
As for
talking.
the reason why they are lungfish,
Okay.
that is more or less, as opposed to amphibians, that is more or less the judgment of my friend Laser Whale, who went off his own gut feeling because, like, he couldn't personally see the comparatively rigid and simplified jaw structure of a proper tetrapod, like
Right. Yeah.
like or whatever, forming what is seen in the Mutos, and plus also the skull structure of the modern lungfish is frighteningly similar to a Muto. Like, if you take away all the soft flesh, like, hold on, I'm gonna post something in the stream chat. Y'all can open up that link,
All right,
and
let me
I'll open it up.
take a look
I'll
here.
paste the link in the YouTube stream chat.
All right,
That is the skull of Protopterus doloi, the slender lungfish.
Oh my god!
I know, right? That is straight up
like
a Muto head.
You could tell me that was Muto's skull, and I would believe it. Like that looks
I know.
dead on like it. It's got the
Now,
sloping thing on the top.
It's got the
kind of
sloping
same
thing. It's got the
configuration.
teeth. It's got the jaw. And
Yeah.
that little floating tooth there that could easily.
That makes sense.
really
They're shrink wrapped.
Little
They're
triangle.
shrink wrapped lungfish. It works.
Yeah, shrink wrapped and less shrink wrapped, and I'd say more ossified because.
Oh yeah.
Shrink wrapped lungfish sounds like an indie rock band name.
It does.
Yeah.
No, same with green onions.
That's Alex Crayley's next film.
Shrink wrapped lungfish or green? Okay, shrink wrapped lungfish.
Shrink wrapped lungfish is a Team Yaguchi side project.
Anyways, there's further evidence in the prehistoric Triassic lungfish Ceratodus sturi, which is the bottom thing. Look at the dentition on that jaw.
Hang on, I'm going to open this up here.
Take a closer look at that snout.
The one at the bottom here?
The one at the bottom, and specifically the lower jaw's teeth. Looks very familiar, doesn't it?
Oh. Yeah, it does. There's the two big thing and the
It's the big thing,
Yeah,
and like
that's
few
pretty
little
close.
go back, and like fucking. Let me just post the fucking. Here's that. You could.
Yeah, you could. You definitely could. Yes.
And yes, DJ. As for Mark Whitten's post, I have read it. It is very good. Mark Whitten is great. I'm even friends with Monkeys.
Yeah, like this is illuminating.
I know.
That's fantastic.
It is very, and it doesn't just go from just the skull. I mean, you can't just base that from that. In regards to the Muto's limbs, because they have 6 forelimbs,
Right.
3 pairs. Whenever the Muto's distant and ancient ancestors evolved from the typical lungfish, because the lungfish have very long fins. They're kind of ribbony almost.
Yeah.
If you've ever seen them. But like if they fused, like they probably started with a singular pair of forelimbs as a sort of parallel or convergently evolved trait between these paratetrapods, as it were, and like actual tetrapods. Like the initial forelimb, the singular pair, probably evolved in a similar manner to that of whatever lobe-finned ancestors of ours evolved. Like fusion of that, you know.
Real quick, I've finished the pot stickers, so now is the moment of truth for my custom sauce.
The moment of truth.
I'm gonna see how this is.
This is history in the making.
Eat.
Oh my!
Yeah! How is it?
Here tonight. Look at this.
It's pretty good. I'm trying to put my finger on what it reminds me of.
Is it like salty, tangy, sweet, sour, spicy? Where would you savory?
It maintains a lot of the kind of savoriness of the innovation sauce, but the sweetness of the sweet and sour sauce really kind of evens it out.
Actually, a sweet and sauce.
For the life of me, I can't put my finger on what it's reminding me of, but it's reminding me very strongly of something.
Those are
the
best and most troublesome kinds of memories, where it's like, this reminds
So
me of something,
good, though.
but I don't know what. I have that all the time, and it just drives me bonkers.
But anyways, if I may, I continue.
Yes, go right ahead.
Go ham.
Okay, anyways, as I was saying, the distant ancestors probably had a sort of parallel or convergent evolution of their limb to that of the true tetrapod. Thus, granting the Muto ancestors access to land. And they probably evolved pretty normally from there on out, branching out, diversifying into groups that we, in the real world, have yet to uncover. And somewhere along the lines, I've got 2 possible ideas for how this thing happened. Either somewhere along the line, a prehistoric member of a prehistoric Muto predecessor was born with polymorpha, the mutation which results in duplication of limbs. It happens in cows, dogs, cats, or whatever, even people. Like if you've ever seen a person with like extra arms, that's polymorpha. Or legs, even. And while normally this mutation is typically detrimental, in the case of the Muto ancestor, it would have proved advantageous to this ancestor, and thus the trait was carried over and on until the 6 limbs sort of adapted as such, where the 3rd pair became the smaller underarms, and the 2 other pairs became the 2 main forelimbs. Where the Muto, the primary on the male Muto, became the wing, the secondary, the leg, whatever.
Right.
That or the ancestors' limbs developed in a manner akin to the adaptation of a sea robin's front 6 fin rays evolving into pseudo-limbs, and then it just goes from there. Either way, all the limbs originate from a sort of central shoulder node, which I'm going to post a little diagram here. You see the primary 1, the secondary 2, and the tertiary 3 all sort of originate from this triangular region, which sort of slopes down.
Yeah, this kind of paper football shape here.
Yeah, paper football shape.
The red there.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and Port Skullcrawlers had the opposite. And the highly limited digit count on each limb, its terminating hand could be evidence for either scenario, honestly. And here's some more fun connections. Lungfish cocoon themselves in a mucous membrane when water is scarce, and they need to preserve as much of it as they can. The first 3 words of that sentence, lungfish can cocoon themselves.
There you go.
Yeah, very
There you go.
The immature Muto cocoons itself in what is presumably a hardened and highly mineralized, mucous membrane to preserve and soak up the radiation as Genjira as it matures.
Yeah, it was. I remember when he came out, it was all gooey on the inside.
Yes, it was.
Little dribbly bits.
Dear God. I'm pretty certain they didn't even pull any reference from lungfish whatsoever. And yet they made a lungfish.
Yeah. Well, it's, also, that's just how that happens sometimes.
Accidental lungfish.
And reminds me of
furthermore,
that thing.
Lungfish also burrow. They also burrow just like the male Muto.
It reminds me of the meme about how the nature of humanity is just that every so often somebody accidentally invents Homestuck.
What? Oh Lord.
Ah, God, it's true.
I forget what provoked that, but that's interesting.
I haven't been saying anything because I don't know I'm not cat following up with you guys. I'm slow.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
Right.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's okay.
You guys are galaxy brain compared to me.
I don't know.
Aww.
I don't know jack fuck about zoology. I'm just fascinated.
I'm just
great.
learning out here.
I just don't know what to say. So.
Well, a little bit of a, and someone actually Titanolante in the Wikizilla server asked about the red visor eyes, and Laser Whale and I had a lot to say on that.
Oh yeah,
Laser Whale, because he's very good at articulating the science behind this stuff, and elaborating on it. He builds upon this sort of stuff and builds upon it. And, yeah. The Mutos seem to perceive the world through electroreception. This was made very clear in the 2012 script, at the very least.
We're getting into the deep lore.
Oh yeah, very deep lore. Let me find the
2012 draft is pretty good. I read it, or at least part of it.
It is actually pretty good. Let me find the actual words from the script. I have it in an image on Skype. I still use that because that's what he uses. Discord is sometimes a little difficult for people to get into in the late game, as it were. Hold on, where is that?
Yeah, Skype
What the hell is that?
stopped working for me at some point.
Hold on. Where?
I forgot my
password. Is in her enormous head sniffing at him, sensing forward by electroreceptivity. That's during the bridge scene.
Well, there you go. Word of God.
Yes. So, hold on. I just got a little message there. So, I'm pretty certain that those visor eyes are... Well, Laser and I, rather, are pretty certain that those visor eyes that it has are not actually eyes at all. They lost their eyes at some point, instead being replaced with highly specialized electroreceptive organs, kind of like a souped-up, roided-out lateral line, as it were. And by souped-up and roided out, I mean, it can sense a lot more than just slight vibrations.
Okay.
The Mutos basically see the EM spectrum back to forth, as it were.
All right.
If you recall the train bridge scene, the receptor strips on the female Muto's head flickered as and with the static that came out of the walkie-talkie.
That's right.
Before she mimicked it.
That's right.
It created the static, meaning the receptor strips produce electromagnetic waves of their own, and the glow is a visible light byproduct of that emission.
Yeah.
And the static and flickering is that's sort of the, I guess, the echolocation, as it were. Except it's not really echolocation. Here's some direct
electrolocation.
In a way. But here's some direct quotes from my friend here. If we want to draw more parallels, lungfish cocoon themselves in times when water is scarce, trapping what moisture they can. That we already covered. The Muto awoke in a time where concentrated sources of radiation, such as what we'd expect from a hypothetical prey organism, were scarce, and proceeded to envelop the first source of radioactive elements it could reach in a cocoon of its own. And those pulses it released while in the cocoon, something akin to electromagnetic echolocation. We know they use something that can be called echolocation, but the fact that every other glow the Mutos emit can be linked to electromagnetic emission makes me wonder if the comparison to draw is not with sonar, but radar.
Thanks to radar.
And those pulses increased in frequency, as in it released more of them, not talking about radio wave frequency, as the Muto neared its emergence, as if announcing to a prospective mate that a healthy partner would soon reach maturity. Ta-da!
Mingle and ready to mingle.
That sounds
the
about right.
Mutos essentially communicate and see the world through radiation and all sorts of waves, like the entire EM spectrum.
God damn.
The Mutos probably don't see light the way we do it, but they probably see visible light, but in a different way.
Yeah.
Almost certainly, yeah.
And because of the extremely high frequencies that gamma radiation emits, and because the atomic breath is presumably loaded with that sort of stuff, that really is the main concern when we're talking about atomic radiation. It's gamma.
Yeah.
Right?
It is like
no wonder
it would be a lot
no
like
wonder
fission now that
yeah, no wonder she recoiled, not just from the heat and the force, but from the blinding light she would have seen.
Yeah.
She was legit blinded by the atomic breath.
What the
Cutting loose like a deuce, another runner in the night.
This really explains why the male Muto, when it was flying over the Pacific Ocean, could spot the Russian akula deep within the water, because it could see the radiation there.
Yeah, because it was.
And it identified it as a prey organism. Well, it's not.
Hold on.
Eat that.
The thing about water, though, is it's an extremely good insulator against radiation.
It's a really good insulator, but we can presume we don't know the depth of the,
True.
The
and I suppose.
Yeah, we don't know how.
But even so, the Mutos seem to be pretty good swimmers, anyways.
Yeah.
Well, they could have easily adjusted.
If the sub
to pick up the radiation.
If the sub was trying to make really good time, it probably would have been in relatively shallow water.
Yeah.
Or possibly even surfaced, because submarines move way quicker the higher up they are.
Yeah, water pressure, water density.
Yeah.
You know how it is.
If it was running silent and running deep, like maybe the Muto wouldn't have been able to see it. But
for certain.
I'm guessing it was probably up higher in I don't know nautical terminology. Shit. It would have been like
shallower depths, as it were.
Shallower depths, or maybe even surface.
Yeah.
Well,
because if it was trying to make good time to get from port to port or whatever it was doing.
Grab my tower fan.
If they had been real G's, it would have been fine, because as we all know, real G's move in silence like lasagna.
I have no idea what that's from, but
They ride.
I think that's Lil Wayne
to hide their numbers. Lasagna isn't like I've eaten lasagna. It's not silent at all.
It is not.
It's a very noisy food. Very.
Yeah,
but really thought of foods like that.
Especially
but the G nonetheless.
No wonder.
Especially if you are an orange cat.
No wonder Garfield loves it. It is very good.
and now we're back to cats, which is where we were when you came back in, Kyodai.
But
you guys heard of Garfield Eats?
Oh God.
Yes, I have.
I heard about that.
Stream Beyond has a great couple videos about that place. It's so weird.
As for like the Mutos, again, whatever the case, the Mutos' communication is also really highly complex, and between their receptor strip pulses, like when the Mutos met and they did their smooch, the lights pulsed back and forth, whatever.
Yeah. And they did those little they did the little click my cat looking at bird out the windows noise.
Click.
Yeah.
Click, fall in love.
Yes, exactly.
Click, boom.
And again, furthermore, and their complex vocalizations, which are frankly probably produced by, of all things, a syrinx, like, birds have.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because, frankly, our vocal structures can't exactly mimic that.
I mean, mine can, but my throat's kind of raw and ragged at the moment. So.
Yeah.
You'd have to put some processing on my voice to get it to sound exact.
Yeah. My friend and I wager that the Mutos probably have a very complex and extensive language all their own.
Oh, yeah.
And probably are way more intelligent than we ever probably thought they were.
I mean...
They're probably...
Yeah.
They're probably like the corvids of the kaiju world, as he put it.
Could be.
Like crows and ravens, as it were.
Yeah.
And furthermore, I would like to further address the issue. And I say, issue of the Muto Prime.
I find it best not to think about it, because the movies fucking don't. Why should we?
Same.
Hey, we're gonna make this prequel comic, and it's not gonna tie into anything. Whoops.
I know. But people, I'm not going to say the adjective that I put next to people when I talked about it to myself, trying to rationalize the Muto Prime last night. But people like to think that the Muto Prime really is a Muto. I hard disagree, because the Muto Prime, aside from superficial structural similarities and coloration or whatever, does not resemble a Muto in any way, aside from the superficial structural similarities.
Yeah, like, even visually, it looks off. Like, this is not the kind of morphology that they have.
I call it false Muto, Muto mimic, Muto mimus even, if we're going scientific names. Or, that's a good name, Mino.
Moon.
The rice turned out way better this time.
And of course they're going to argue, oh, that's why it's a subspecies. Duh.
No, it's more like moon.
A subspecies would not have completely different arms, a completely different head, completely different integument, and a completely different reproductive system.
Well, I mean, we are talking about...
The Muto Prime ejects these sort of things from its mouth, these sort of tubules, kind of like a Borg has from its wrist, when they assimilate or...
Yeah, or I was going to say those goofy wires that General Grievance wrapped Shakti up with when he just left, instead of killing her, which is what I would do.
What are those things that... What did they call those things that that Gigan shoots out of his chest in Final Wars?
The fucking anchor.
Yes, fucking anchors. Literally, Muto Prime has fucking anchors. The Muto has an egg sac and a cloaca. The Muto reproduces differently than the Muto Prime, and the Muto Prime could not realistically lay eggs of Mutos in it. If it is supposed to be some reproductive stage, the processes which would have had to go on would have been extremely taxing on the creature. Basically, it's a total change in morphology.
Yeah.
It grows new fingers, it bulks up its arms, it grows whole new integument, changes its entire head structure, all well after it's matured. Well after it's sexually matured. Because Barb, as far as Michael Dougherty has said, is an old female Muto. She's a queen Muto, as it were.
Okay, yeah.
He has had many sexual encounters with male Mutos. That's what all those grapes are.
Of all the things
she has been living in her prime, and she has been taking a beauty rest under Hoboken.
Yeah.
This conversation has gone places.
I didn't expect to hear about Muto cloacas tonight.
Yeah.
I get scientific.
Which, by the way, if you want to get there, you press down to forward and hard punch.
But yeah, I'm really scientific about this stuff because the Muto's fascinating.
Yeah, like you've got this whole giant treatise on Muto biology. And then you go to
behavior because
and then you go and then on top of all of that, you go and you talk to Gareth Edwards, and he just goes, "I don't know, mate. I just thought it was cool."
I wish I could talk to you, Gareth Edwards. I won't lie.
Did you even think about the possibility that he has electric sense? Nah, mate. I just thought red eyes looked neat.
Yes, real quick, we were just talking about that, because the Muto, the Muto's primate do not make sense as an alien.
I can't read good because I've not had the sleep, but yeah, there was a deleted scene in Revenge of the Sith where he does kill Shaq-Ti. I was talking about the Clone Wars cartoon, the Gendy one, where like after he kills Ron Krob and Berber guy, and then takes Palpamalpin. He's like, you won't be needing this. I've got something else for you, and just leaves her there. And I thought that was kind of out of character for him. But whatever. It's
I'm just like the Mutos and the Muto are distinct species. No buts about it.
Vince, real quick.
With the xenomorph, the xenomorph thing makes more sense because they share more characteristics.
Yeah.
Graboids are just a fucking mess.
Yeah, so like Muto Prime is like an ass blaster or something, maybe. Yeah, like that's true. I do think that. Yeah, like Legendary doesn't care about the Tiny comics, so why should we?
Yeah, I know.
Except for Kamazatz. Kamazatz looks fucking cool. I like him.
Cool. The only tie-in comics that I think should be counted as canon whatsoever are the Kong ones.
He looks like a good boy. Yeah, like the Kong comics are the only ones that's actually trying.
Kaiju World Order, I haven't seen the Tremors sequels, so it's a real good thing I know what you meant by ass blasters. And Vince, real quick, the answer is now that you have asked this question, never.
Wow.
That's the correct response. Anytime someone asks one thing. Johnny, when are you gonna do more? You mad? The answer is never.
Yeah, no. I might have done it eventually. But now that you've mentioned it, I've seen it and thought about it. I've thought I should add a picture there. But now that someone else has commented on it, I'm going to just stay that way.
This is the curse of mentioning things online, is when you mention it, it makes people less likely to do it. It's like asking me to do chores around the house. I have a mind to do them. When are you going to do your laundry? Well, I was going to, but now I don't want to.
Yeah. It's like asking Linkara to do more History of Power Rangers. He's going to just go on an angry rant and not do it.
It's like, not anymore, fucker.
You know how you just mentioned like how I wrote a whole
like you had this whole giant thing, and then all the thought Gareth put into it was, I don't know, mate, I just thought it looked cool.
Laser and I went into this whole. Well, I sort of actually this was mostly me, but he sort of developed on it even more. A whole treatise on Muto hunting behavior.
Well, I mean, we have seen that they tend to attack in pairs when the need requires it.
Yes. I think that is less the need requires it and more how they actually do it.
Oh, yeah. That'd definitely be how they would do it. Well, but then again...
as they would in life, I would say.
I mean, that's the thing, though.
May I read this little document?
I was just gonna say briefly that like there is a little something to people thinking that they were insects, because like the kind of dimorphism that they show is common in a lot of insect species, where the male is smaller, lighter, and has that extra means of locomotion because he's got to go out and look for food, while the mom is big and beefy and can do big old stomps on your head ski because she's got to be able to protect the nest and the little babs. Now, so like I can see why a lot of people would have initially thought, yeah, they're bugs.
Yeah.
So like
biologically, they're lungfish with a very, very derived lungfish.
Yeah. So that's the thing, though. It's like
outside of typical tetrapod behavior, like biologically speaking, that they kind of have to fall outside of tetrapoda. That's kind of why, you know.
Oh, okay, yeah, because like that was my thing. Is like, then how does this factor in? Because like if they can't hunt without each other, then like that torpedoes that whole other theory that I had, and I feel like I've been barking up the wrong tree my whole life, and I feel like a dumb. About how their dimorphism dictates that like the little lad, I'm gonna go out and eat. You kick the shit out of anything that comes near the bab.
It's sort of like that, but not quite. My theory.
Okay.
It's very similar.
All right. Well, I'm a quiver with anticipation.
This whole thing spawned from King of the Monsters as well. A very specific critique about King of the Monsters. Specifically, its sound design. Yeah. You wouldn't have expected a whole treatise on Muto behavior to come from a critique on sound design, but here we are.
Yeah. Okay. Real quick. I'm gonna probably cap this off at 2 hours. So I'm just gonna spend these last 8 minutes or so. I'm gonna open it up as like a last call for questions.
All right.
All right.
That's okay.
We can continue this at a later date, I'm sure.
Probably in the
probably
in the server when we're doing Marble Hornets or whatever.
Yeah.
So DJ Crumrine. DJ asks, now that I'm seeing the films in a binging format, have my feelings towards some of them changed? Any new perspective I have on them? I liked Raids Again better when I rewatched it. I don't know if I have any specific insights on it that I didn't before, but I did like it. That's the thing. That's why I keep someone asked me to. That's okay. Someone asked me to do a video on Raids Again, and the reason I keep putting it off is just because I can't really think of a unique angle to approach it from, which was part of the reason I put off the Godzilla against Mechagodzilla video for so long. But yeah, let's see other films I've rewatched and appreciated more. What I've watched so far. That's the thing. I feel like you could probably go through my videos and find like several instances of me saying that. But now that you ask, I'm drawing a blank. I'm sorry.
Yeah, like I went through that a little bit myself when I marathoned them leading up to King of the Monsters. It was like I found that I was like movies that I was like, I don't like this one very much. I found I was appreciating them like, I don't know if I appreciated them more or like I was just like, well, I couldn't tell if I genuinely appreciated them more or if like I was just like, well, I know a better one's coming up, so it doesn't sting as much.
Yeah. Well, okay. One thing I thought of, I did watching the Japanese version of King Kong versus Godzilla for the first time with actual proper decent subs, courtesy of Space Hunter M, who put together an MKV with the 4K restoration and subtitles translated from the official German release. This would have been before the Criterion subs were out.
Right.
Watching it for the first time with a proper translation and not 90s bootleg bullshit subs was honestly revelatory. It was like a whole different movie, and it was very, very funny. Honestly,
yeah. Like that's what I've heard about it, is that it's more overtly comedic than the Beck cut.
Yeah, and it's a lot easier to actually appreciate the writing when you're actually getting a real translation.
Yeah.
Also, Michael, yes, I'd feel bad doing the accent though. That's the problem. I don't have the required lanes for that.
I wouldn't want to do like the Key Luke voice or whoever it was. Was it Key Luke? Or was it somebody else?
I think it was Key Luke. I forget who Takei was.
He was. I don't remember either. I mean, aren't we all really?
Honestly, the real MVP of Kaiju YouTube, to tell you the truth. Although Cosmo's coming back pretty soon, which I'm very much looking forward to.
I'm looking forward to that as well.
I have missed Cosmo Void so much, and it's a shame too because a lot of the content of his that I first really got into, like 30 Days of Godzilla, I think he's set those to private or something, because I can't find them anymore. Which is too bad because I thought those were good. But I mean, it's his channel. What he wants to be out there can be out there. It's not like he's covering up something nefarious.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of too bad. But you know, I'm just glad he's coming back.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
So, and Will asks, are the Criterion subs good? I haven't watched the Criterion sub all the way through. As far as I can tell, they're okay. They're just a little clunkier in some respects. Like, I think they translate, is it Kyodai Naru Majin or something like that? They translate that as Mammoth Evil Spirit or something like that, which like isn't incorrect, but is just clunky. Whereas I think Polly's subs.
Like it.
Yeah, I think Polly's subs rendered it as Giant Demon God, which I think works better.
That's a little closer, probably, to what they intended. Yeah. But like Mammoth Death Spirit or whatever it was, that has charm. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Except like it sounds like it's a mammoth, like it's got big tuskies.
The one thing I'll say about the translated German subs is I wonder if this was in the German subs themselves, but there is actually like a little anime fan sub translators note at one point, because they have to explain that when I think it's Fujita comes back, and Tamie is real surprised. And she's like, "Are you a ghost?" He's like, "I have legs, don't I?" And they have to do a little note like, in Japanese folklore, ghosts don't have legs.
Keikaku means plan.
Yeah. Well, I think that one I think is fair because
that. Yeah, to be
it's
fair,
short. It's to the point.
I know that.
It's informative.
So it's kind of I legitimately didn't know that. That's interesting. I thought some did though, like the scissor lady, Kuchisaki Onna, I think. She got legs, and she knows how to use them.
Tiny evil spirit.
I'm not gonna ask what that means. This is a family channel, damn it.
It's the family.
This is fucking goddamn family entertainment. You little shit.
Goddamn Christian values in my goddamn Christian Kaiju chat.
Fucking embarrassing.
It's like,
you're gonna come into my fucking house and fucking swear.
That's like that DX thing. Jeez, Sean, watch your fucking mouth. Goddamn.
So you're cursing up a storm with your friends the other day. All right.
Lord.
Well, we're about to hit 2 hours. Anyone have any other questions? Real quick, last call.
I got nothing. I can't brain good when I have not had the sleeps. It's almost as not brain good as when I've had drinks.
Yeah.
That's what you miss out on, and not sticking around for the after party at G-Fest. Oh shit.
That is just a hell of an anecdote.
That is. That's wow.
Of all the things I've read, that's certainly one of them.
Guillermo del Toro going up to the ghost like, so are you Chinese or Japanese?
What? What? Why is he Hank Hill?
So I could quote that line mostly.
This film is going to be a beautiful poem to giant monsters. You're going to see you're going to see giant fucking robots and giant fucking monsters beating each other.
We had this here design philosophy I called the Nakajima factor.
Oh, good gravy.
Yes.
All right. What scrapped kaiju films do you find the most interesting and why? I've been really interested in those scrap projects which are kaiju related recently.
Oh.
I kind of wish that the Batman and Godzilla crossover had come to pass.
I do too.
That would be something. The Adam West shit.
That would be interesting.
There's a webcomic being made of that actually. I've seen the first issue of it. It's kind of neat.
What will be great though is the prospect of having kind of like Gargantua as a Hong Kong export dub somewhere of like I don't know, Matthew Oram or somebody talking over Adam West. And just like not even doing his Batman at all.
Yeah, just I've just perfected an electronic hair bat analyzer which may hold the key to this baffling question. They're recruiting more pimps,
but still
pushers.
Oh God.
I've always been like a fan.
Come along, chum. We've got to stop that overgrown lizard.
Godzilla, age 35, turned himself into Batman and Robin after the incident.
Yes.
A lot of like the lost.
We're doing niche references now.
Yes.
Kaiju films and shit. I always found them fascinating because like.
I'm sorry, I just got that comment, Michael. Literally after I put it up on screen, I was just like, "Oh, I get it."
I don't, but I'm laughing anyway because
just try anything. Oh God, there was a whole edit war over the origin of the Gargantua's export dub on Wikipedia. It's ridiculous. Like literally, one person who was arguing that it was from Hong Kong was like, "Listen to it with your ears. It sounds exactly like every other Hong Kong dub." But then the person, someone who's like a mod or something, was just like, "No, but guys, see, look, we have this book from Steve Rifle from like 20 years ago." Well, yeah, but that was considered original research, whereas some other guy was just like, "No, see, look, we got this book here from Steve Rifle from 20 years ago that says it's from Frontier." Mind you, that's from an area where from an era when that dub was probably like almost impossible to find and listen to.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily blame him for getting that wrong or anything, but like you can listen to it now and judge it for yourself very, very easily since it's now been officially released, thanks to the Criterion channel and everything. But it's not a published source. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's neat.
That stuff's always crazy to me. Like how even if we think we have everything we have to know about like these movies and stuff, there's always going to be something there that we're not going to know because it wasn't like recorded properly or like conflicting sources. It's always fascinating. Yeah. You know, I say this character's this many meters tall, so I say this character's like this many meters tall. Who knows? You know?
And then the official stats come out and they don't make any fucking sense at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
Will asks, besides Twitter, where online do you talk to people about Godzilla nowadays? Honestly, Twitter is like most of it. I pop onto the Toho Kingdom forums once in a while, but that's mostly just to talk home media releases. But yeah, it's mostly on Twitter nowadays. It used to be Tumblr, but then everybody everybody kind of mass exodused away from Tumblr when they correctly stated that horny people have no rights.
I'm still there. I just don't post that often.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. I post when I have new videos. I link new videos. That's about it.
The only time
I'm too fucking lazy to engage with my audience, and I'm ashamed. My tiny audience of like 100 people or however many it is.
God. We'll clarify that is a joke, I believe. But
I like that mental image a lot, though.
Yeah. Well, anyway, well, yeah, it's been a great time hanging out, everybody.
Yeah.
Real quick here. Yeah, so let me see, I'm not entirely sure on this platform how to make sure that this goes up for posteriority on YouTube. This is my first time doing a live stream like this, so I think it went pretty well, all things considered. That went about as well as could be expected, didn't it? I can't do Wallace for shit. I regret trying, but yeah, yeah, good time hanging out, everybody. Thank you so much to my subscribers, all 1,000 odd of you now. It's good. It's gotten to a little more than 1,000 now, but you know, at least I was quicker on the draw getting this together. Well, maybe not quicker, but there's less of an obvious disparity in subscribers than when I did my 500 sub special and I had like 600 or 700 by the time I got it out. But anyway, yeah, that's been a really great time hanging, and I'll try and get this up to stay on YouTube. Yeah, thank you guys so much for everything, and Zimzilla clarifies everything. Thank you so much. Yeah, thanks a lot. I'll see you guys soon with another video. I keep saying probably not another Kaiju binge, but it's, you know, the way things have been going, it's probably just going to be another Kaiju binge. But yeah, good times. See you around.